everyone, this is Anime Explosion. You're back with another One Piece episode review. So this week I'll be reviewing episode 763, and my gosh, what an amazing episode. What a surprising, there were so many surprising elements to this episode, which really freaked me out, right? I bet that a lot of people had the same experience as I did. All the people who watch anime and are not the manga followers, right? So I guess there was a lot of surprising elements in this week's episode, and I was completely mind blown as soon as I saw that scene earlier. So let's just get into it. So, ending off last time, Capone basically he has the Straw Hat surrounded. He has this weird devil fruit power, some castle devil fruit thing, right, which enables him to turn his innards into a complete castle or some sort of a structure and change all the objects inside into spiky stuff or like sharp stuff, right? So he has that ability of some sort, right, which is really cool at the same time as weird. So basically he has his henchmen inside his body who lets out, and obviously the Straw Hats are outnumbered, so they really can't fight it through. So they all eventually have to go and get inside Capone's body, right? So as soon as they enter Capone's body through that portal, you got Brook, Nami, Caesar, Chopper locked up in chains, and you got this huge long ass dining table. At one side there's Capone, and at the other is Sanji. You got this long ass dining table. So now the shit that took place at this dining table, that's basically the main content of this whole episode, right? That's the main, that's where the shit goes down, right? So Capone has this invitation which has Big Mom's logo on it, all right, and he opens it up and he says VINSMOKE's the family of VINSMOKE, right? He says, what did he say again? VINSMOKE's the third son of the VINSMOKE family is the groom to the 35th daughter of the Charlotte family pudding. As soon as he said that phrase, everyone freaked the fuck out. Sanji, his jaw drops, his sink falls out. You got Nami, you got Brook, you got Chopper, you got Caesar freaking the fuck out. You got me here, mind fucked as hell. You got other people watching this anime as confused as I am. Like, what? Sanji's getting married to some chick named Pudding, who's the daughter of Big Mom. Like, what? When did this happen? I thought it was a joke at first. Like, really, you just invited the Straw Hats into your body just to give Sanji a personal invitation to Sanji so he can come to a wedding? Alright, it's not even referred as a wedding. It's referred as a tea party, right? It's referred as a tea party. So, that's just the first surprise, right? As soon as he says the third son of the VINSMOKE family, Sanji's completely freaked out. He never heard that. Until now, we don't really know much about Sanji. As far as we know about his past is, as a kid, he was stranded on an island with Zeph for about 2 weeks without food and all that. Then ended up working for Zeph in his restaurant, in his floating restaurant, and joined the Straw Hats afterwards. That's all we know. But after he said VINSMOKE, there's much more to Sanji's past that meets the eye. All right, we don't know that yet. We're probably gonna get to know who the VINSMOKEs are, who his father, his mom, his brothers. He is the third brother. That's what it was mentioned here. So he probably has other siblings as well, which is really crazy. So we're probably gonna find out later in much future episodes. So that's completely crazy. That's just the first surprise that hit Sanji. The second surprise is he is the groom to the 35th daughter of the Charlotte family pudding. Like, that's completely crazy. Big Mom, why does Big Mom want one of her daughters to get married to Straw Hats? I mean, see, this can be a lot of things. So, like, for the people who are watching the anime, I mean, by today, by watching the scene, there might be 1,000 of questions that are popping into your mind, right? Like, who did this? Who are the VINSMOKEs? Why do they want to get married? Why do they want to get paired up? So many things here, right, going through your mind. So Sanji's, he's shocked. Obviously, he's shocked because the family name VINSMOKE came out of nowhere. That completely shocked him. But then when it comes to the marriage part, he's like, I'm not gonna marry a chick that I don't know or never seen before. I'm not gonna get married to her. All right. And then, like, out of nowhere, like, Brooks was like, oh my god, when I heard the name VINSMOKE, that just gave me chills down my spine. And as we know, Brooke is the oldest of all the Straw Hat members. He's the most oldest, wisest. He knows, he's literally been through life, right? He's 100 and something years old, right? He's experienced life like no other. He knows the renowned pirates back in the day, Goldie Roger, you know, much old pirates back in the day. So as soon as he heard VINSMOKE, he's like, that family name gives me chills down my spine. So I don't know why Brooks said that. You know, probably these guys were, this VINSMOKE family was a big deal back in the day, and who knows. And but then you think that Sanji stayed with the family, but due to some friction between those two, probably Sanji escaped them to run off, right? And then he bumped into Zeph, and he started working for Zeph. Who knows, right? I'm completely clueless about who the VINSMOKE family is and what they're capable of doing, and what actually took place between Sanji and his family or his father. Now this marriage element, which came out of nowhere, right? Pudding, right? So she's probably one of the daughters, right? There are a lot of son and daughters of Big Mom. I don't even know who the husband is. Like, she's gigantic. Who the hell did all that to get 35 kids? I really don't want to get into that nasty shit. So Pudding's probably the daughter of Big Mom, and yeah, they want to have a marriage. Like, probably the VINSMOKE families made some sort of a deal with Big Mom. So Big Mom's getting something in return as well, and the VINSMOKE's family's probably getting Sanji back. Who knows? Like, Sanji escaped when he was a kid, and the VINSMOKE family, they want him back, so they're arranged this marriage type of thing. They worked a deal out with Big Mom, and Big Mom also wants to get married so they can have some alliance. But the thing is now, okay, this can all go well. Okay, Sanji and Pudding, they can get married. But the thing is, now that they're married, there's an alliance with Big Mom and the Straw Hats. There's an alliance, but the thing is that Big Mom's not a type of person to have an alliance, right? When she partners up with someone, she literally owns them and she orders them what to do. No one can order her back. Now Luffy's the type of guy who doesn't listen to anyone, right? He does what he says, right? He makes his own decision. He wants to become the king of pirates. To do that, he can't really follow someone else's orders. So now this is a little friction that comes up, right? Even if Sanji does get married to Pudding, I suppose, and that alliance is formed, Big Mom's obviously going to order everyone around. She's going to order Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats, but Luffy's not that type of guy. That's what I'm saying. He won't listen to Big Mom. He's going to obviously object and say, no, it's my will. But at the same time, he doesn't. As we know who Luffy is as a person, as a character, he's that type of guy who will never let anyone go from his crewmate. I mean, there was this fight between Usopp and him, but I know Luffy, he loves each and every person on that crew. They mean a lot to him, and when he finds out that this whole transaction are gonna take place, he's probably gonna be pissed. He's gonna go Big Mom and fight with her. Like, no, give Sanji back. He won't get married to one of your daughters, right? Because that obviously there's no such thing that will work out. Like, okay, Sanji and Pudding, they get married, but at the same time they'll have an alliance. No, Big Mom will not do that. She won't have an alliance. She'll for sure take over the Straw Hats, and Luffy will not let that happen, and he'll definitely go against that, and he'll try to rescue Sanji back. Now, whether or not Sanji went to Big Mom on his own decision, or he was forced to, we don't know that, because further on in the episode, there's this dude named Vito, right? Sanji's still neglecting the invitation. He's like, no, there's no way I'm gonna marry some chick I don't know. I'm not gonna go to that marriage. I'm not gonna get married to a random person. All right, then Vito, there's some random dude, I forgot what he is. He's part of some pirate group, right? He goes to Sanji and he whispers something to him really quietly, and after that, the cigarette falls out again. His face turns pale, and that's where the episode ends. Now, Vito probably gave him a threat to the Straw Hats, right? He probably said something so demoning, he said something so awful that can potentially harm Luffy and the rest of the Straw Hats, which will eventually lead up to him leaving the Straw Hats for their own safety. He might take a bullet for the team. He might forcefully have to go to Big Mom's ship and get married with Pudding just for the sake of the safety of the Straw Hat crew. Vito probably might have said something which involved some sort of dangerous threat towards the Straw Hats, and that's the reason Sanji had to leave, because Sanji, we can see Sanji's really resistance. You can see the resistance on his face. He really doesn't want to get married, but as soon as Vito said that, probably these are the reasons that led up to his disappearance, his voyage to Big Mom's ship. That's probably the reason Vito said something so demeaning, so awful, that really could be really dangerous to the Straw Hats' future. So who knows, there are tons of elements in this episode. Really enjoyed this episode. So let me know what you guys think about the episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Bye.